This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Welcome to ASEAN in Focus Weekend Edition. I'm Dr. Kaloy Tabunda from the Development Academy of the Philippines. In mainland Southeast Asia, the influence of India is very much evident through its belief system, architecture, and to a big extent, its food. However, in the Philippines, Indian influence is not as obvious, but there are non-tangible proofs showing the long history of these two nations. Budhi, Sampalataya, Diwa, Lakambini, Mukha, Laho, Maharlika, and Guro are only some of the few words that the Philippines borrowed from the Indians. The incorporation of Hindu words to the Filipino language signifies long interaction and engagement between the two. But this cultural link is not widely known to the Filipinos. In our episode today, we will explore how the great Indian civilization influences the development of the Southeast Asian culture and how the relations of these two great cultures survives until today. From the level of government-to-government relations, ASEAN India Center Director Dr. Prabir De will enlighten us on the policies and programs that India embarks with the ASEAN community. Why is India interested in ASEAN in the first place? Or why is ASEAN, the vice versa, why is ASEAN interested in India?
Look, ASEAN-India relation, it has a very long historical civilizational link. So interests between India and ASEAN, it is there for many, many years. Maybe the renewed interests, new interest, which is very contemporary. India's interest to ASEAN, it is a natural friend. ASEAN interest on India is the same, but India is neighbors. We have a maritime neighbor, we have a land neighbor, and vast market. So India and ASEAN, that's why we call all-weather natural friends. So yes, in India's strong diaspora as well in the ASEAN countries.
Yeah, for a fact, because I've been to Malaysia and Singapore many times already, and I noticed there were three races in those countries, right? You have the natives, the Chinese people, Chinese descent, and Indians. So you have a very big presence in Malaysia and Singapore. And also in Indonesia, you have
Indonesia as well. Indonesia and India are the closest maritime neighbor. The maritime distance between India and Indonesia only 80 kilometers. That is the reason historically we have a strong civilizational links between India and Indonesia. Indonesia has Java, Sumatra. Those islands are actually entire Indonesian. They're under Hindu kingdoms. Many years ago, so 5,000 years old. Still Java and Sumatra, they practice different religion, Hinduism, and then Islam. India and Indonesia is very interesting. Indian people are Hindu majority, but you will find Islamic civilization. They protect it, they nurture with it. Whereas Indonesia is the Islamic country, but they protect and nurture Hindu civilization.
Actually, Indonesia is supposed to be the biggest Islamic country in the world.
Yeah.
But many people don't know that a big portion of it is actually Hindus, right?
Yeah.
And Bali, for instance, one of the most popular tourist places in Indonesia is actually, they practice Hinduism. For many years, for many centuries, actually, there's really been much exchanges between India and the rest of ASEAN, particularly, as you said, Indonesia. Which ASEAN countries do you share?
Myanmar.
Just Myanmar. Okay. So there's also many Indians in Myanmar.
Yes. Myanmar was under British India.
Okay.
So it was a part of South Asia actually. In 1928, it got separated. But it continued till 1962 with Indian civilization. Officially, the currency was Indian rupee, banking system, an Indian system. 62 when the General New who took over, then they changed the whole structure of the country. Otherwise, Myanmar, which used to call the Burma,
yes.
it is a part of British India. So
you have strong diplomatic relations with all of the ASEAN countries.
yes, very good relation, and ASEAN, it's both way.
How about economic relations?
Very good. The largest investor FDI is Singapore in India.
In India?
Yes.
Does India also invest in other Asian countries?
Yes. Outward FDI from India, for example, Thailand. There are many successful companies in real estate, in chemical, in gems and jewelry, Indian companies. Then if you come to Singapore, of course, there are many Indian companies are doing business there. Malaysia as well. Similarly, Malaysia is also investing in India. So Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Singapore. These 4 ASEAN countries with India has very strong and vibrant investment flows.
Okay. How does India look at ASEAN now? Particularly, it's developing to be a major grouping in this part of the world. How do you regard ASEAN now, collectively?
Collectively, ASEAN is the strongest force in Asia. It is. See, there is a scenario is coming up. It's a kind of a instability in the globally. For example, the Britain exit from Europe, the disturbances in the Middle East, Syria in particular, Latin America, still, the issues of social problems. Japan, like country, falling into aging society. So these are the factors which are still continuing affecting the world economy. But if you come with the ASEAN and Southeast Asia, a peaceful society, a coexistence for many common issues, and it is forward-looking, growing. And with ASEAN, India has a very active relation for many years. 3 decades, actually the 3rd decade is going on. Next year, 2017, India and ASEAN will be celebrating Silver Jubilee.
Silver Jubilee.
Yeah, 25th year of their dialogue relation, 15 years of their summit level relation, and 5 years of strategic level relations.
5 years of strategic level
relations. So with ASEAN and India is the natural partners. And ASEAN also comes as a pivot to India's Act East policy. India as a colonial, was a part of a British colony. Our institution, structure, everything was more toward Western world, with Europe, But it is the mid-90s. India took a policy called Look East policy.
Look East.
Because
before you were...
but look West.
Look West. Great Britain, because you were a former colony of Great Britain.
Yes. So Look East policy was in mid-90s.
Okay.
And then 2014, when Prime Minister Modi took over as the Prime Minister in India, he changed the Look East into Act East policy. That we have enough look, now do something actively, more business oriented. So this is called Act East policy. And with Act East policy, our engagement with ASEAN has also increased.
So you think that this policy has been very fruitful for both regions, both India and Southeast Asia. Okay. And what do you foresee in the next few years for this relationship?
Yes, coming years, we are negotiating a comprehensive FTA, which we call RCEP. RCEP members are 16 countries, 10 ASEAN plus China, Japan, Korea, India, Australia, New Zealand. So once this RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, comes in force, then this entire South and Southeast Asia and East Asia, this become a common market.
Okay, we will talk about RCEP more when we come back, but the thing is, India and ASEAN have been
natural, naturally close for centuries. They're close neighbors, and the ASEAN-India dialogue has been going for 25 years. You said.
Yeah.
And for strategic partnership, it's 5 years. And so far, the exchanges between the two have been productive for both ASEAN and for both India.
Celebrating the 50th anniversary of ASEAN and raising its awareness among Filipinos. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, one caring and sharing community, unity in diversity. We are one. We are ASEAN. Mabuhay! I am Ogie Alcacid. I am a Filipino, proudly ASEAN.
Okay, Dr. De, you said earlier that the dialogue partnership between ASEAN and India has been going on for the last 25 years. The summit level partnership has been going for the past 10 years,
Yeah.
and the strategic partnership for the last 5 years. ASEAN will be celebrating its 50th year next year, and fortunately the Philippines will be hosting that activity. Where is ASEAN-India relations going? What's the way forward?
ASEAN and India relations, what is today, is very integrated and a very relation is very good, all weather, all round relation. In coming days, this relation will be further deepened. We have a strategic level partnerships. The same partnerships will be extended to several sectors. So it will be more a relation between India and ASEAN will be more strengthened, more deeper relations.
And mostly it will be economic level.
Yeah, not just economy relation, also will deepen in strategic areas, on the cultural areas. So all the three pillars, India and ASEAN are there, getting engaged more and more. So it is not just an economy. ASEAN has, for the ASEAN economic community, which ASEAN has introduced in a rather small way, 1st January this year. Their next milestone is 2025,
Yes.
and they have updated several of their obligations. The one which is being talked about now, the Master Plan of ASEAN Connectivity 2025, which is the ASEAN Summit and ASEAN Plus Plus Summit in Vientiane. They had a declaration, joint statement, and a funding request from all the dialogue partners. India has committed $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Yes,
Okay.
to ASEAN and India, connectivity, physical and digital. So, bottom line is that the relation is very, natural relations, and when there are interests between the partners in ASEAN and India, obviously it will be more growing. Relation will be more strengthened in coming days.
So what were the interests on ASEAN connectivity?
See, we have, as I said, that ASEAN and India maritime and land borders, they share each other. And trade is growing between India and ASEAN. See, it is presently being done through maritime route,
Okay.
and it is expensive. So land route is a multimodal transport,
Multimodal.
as opposed to the maritime. Sometimes, it's good for movement of bulk cargo.
Can you mention some specific projects related to the development of the ASEAN connectivity?
Yes, India has some flagship connectivity projects with ASEAN. When it comes to, it is first one, I would say trilateral highway.
What's it again?
Trilateral highway.
What is that?
Trilateral highway, it goes from India to Myanmar to Thailand.
Okay.
So it connects three countries. That's why it's called trilateral.
Trilateral. It's road.
Road, yes.
Road and
yes.
bridges.
Yeah, road
So
and bridges.
it's-
Yes.
It's land.
And it is
land.
going on for last 10 years, even more than 10 years. So,
So from India to
Thailand.
Myanmar to Thailand.
Yes.
So, Is it how many kilometers?
It will be around 4,000 kilometers.
Wow.
And presently India is, rehabilitating all the World War II Thai vintage bridges in Myanmar.
World War II.
Two Thai vintage bridges in Myanmar. Because those part of the Myanmar, actually many people never seen it. So such beauty, the natural beauty.
Okay.
It was constructed by the road during the World War II by the army. So Indian government is setting up the highway. This highway will be ready by 2018.
This is separate from the trilateral highway?
No, on the highway. On the highway, you have 71 bridges.
Okay.
Those to be rehabilitated.
World War II bridges.
Yes. Otherwise, you cannot take your container. So these being done presently. Thailand side already completed. The government. Thailand Myanmar side. And presently, India is constructing 110 kilometer of area inside Myanmar. This is rehabilitating the road. Beside the bridges, India is also rehabilitating 110 kilometers of the trilateral highway in the Myanmar to make it as a world standard road. So all will be done by 2018. So we expect that 2020 this will be ready. India is also setting up a Kaladan multimodal transit transport project in Myanmar.
Okay.
It is basically redevelopment of a port called Situe in Myanmar, in the Rakhine province of Myanmar, and then link it, Situe port, with India's northeastern part of India by river transport and also on by road. So this is also getting ready. Port has been done. Port part. India is also setting up an SEZ near to the port. Situe Special Economic Zone. In Myanmar, all the global powers, they are coming and setting up special economic zone and port. China, Japan, Thailand. And India also setting up the optical fiber cables from India to Indonesia.
Okay, so this one goes
underwater.
Okay.
So this is from India to CLMB countries, and then to Thailand, and then to Malaysia, to Indonesia. So these are. Then there are proposals about the satellite. India is a country which is globally known for its expertise and technology for the satellite. India, many of the satellites, small satellites, including for the television stations, are launched from India. It's very cheap at rate. So on connectivity in India has a very active agenda. And these are supports coming from ASEAN countries. For example, the trilateral highway, which connects India with Thailand. Now, Laos, Cambodia and Vietnam, they are telling India that you extend this highway to Cambodia, to Vietnam. So Indian government has taken a project, extension of trilateral highway.
Okay.
So
that's also due for 2020 or beyond?
Yeah, beyond 2020.
So Myanmar is benefiting much from
because Myanmar is
India.
land bridge.
Yeah.
If we were to cross Myanmar, then to access ASEAN. So in Myanmar,
Myanmar is a gateway to the rest of ASEAN.
Yeah.
At least for the mainland ASEAN.
Yes.
But for the archipelagic ASEAN, you have the Indonesia,
Philippines.
You think all of these are on track?
Yes.
So most of these, especially your trilateral highway, would be finished by 2020. And what do you expect to gain from all of these projects?
Look, these all the projects, when they will be ready, I can easily think that trade will be growing.
Okay.
Presently, India-ASEAN trade has declined. We had a target of 100 billion in 2015. We had met with the trade with 70 billion in 2015. So fall sort of a 30 billion trade. But this is the trend globally. Global trade is not growing up. There are many global issues. China is restructuring. China is more going into domestic consumption-driven economy. They are moving from a low technology to high technology, from labor-intensive to capital-intensive goods. So every country is in the locality. There are structural changes happening. So ASEAN-India trade. That's what we need to encourage it. We need to facilitate it. So connectivity is most important. So all these will help ASEAN-India trade to grow. Plus the value chain. China, ASEAN, they have a very vibrant link with the farms. We call value chains. China takes raw materials, intermediate goods from ASEAN, process it, and then sell it all over the world, the finished goods. So that kind of value chain, India and ASEAN, yet to happen.
Okay.
So these connectivity projects, it will actually facilitate these value chains to come in. Because India has an entrepreneur base, private capital. So all we need, some connectivity between India and ASEAN to support the regional value chains. So by 2020, when these all connectivity projects will be ready, we will expect more value chains will be on the market. So
you're not feeling any competition from China in your dealings with ASEAN, or you're just complementing each other?
See, you cannot precisely draw any line that are complementing or competing, but obviously there will be competitions.
Okay.
And there are also complementary, acts. So ultimately, India is also collaborating with China in many areas.
So all in all, you could say that right now, and especially in the future, India is contributing so much to the development of ASEAN, for example, specifically for Myanmar, which you see as your bridge, as your gateway to the rest of ASEAN in mainland Asia, and through Indonesia you get to all the other countries, the island nations in ASEAN. So we will see more of Indian investments, Indian exchanges between ASEAN countries and in India, that we hope to contribute to the more economic development in this part of the world.
Celebrating the 50th anniversary of ASEAN and raising its awareness among Filipinos. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, one caring and sharing community, unity in diversity. We are one. We are ASEAN. Mabuhay! I am Ogiel Gasid. I am a Filipino, proudly ASEAN.
What do you think about the India-Philippine relations?
India-Philippines, we look stronger bilateral relations. Under the Actist policy, India is going to do more activities on the Philippines. Before coming here, I happened to meet your ambassador, Excellency Madam Teresa Daza. She was very, very optimistic, and we too. Next year, we plan to do from ASEAN India Center some events here. We look for Philippines in a country where India can join to do on technology, on services sector collaborations. By the way, every year, almost about 50,000 students, they come to island country to study management, aviation, engineering, medical.
Here in the Philippines?
Yes, such a big numbers. You have Asian Institute of Management.
Yes.
And so many students, they come. And so with India and Philippines, we share almost similar kind of an economic structure. You are services driven, India is services driven. But why both have not engaged much yet? Why? The one reason is that there are very less diplomatic initiatives.
Okay.
In the
Coming
past.
from both parts.
Both parts. Second is Philippines was busy for your domestic issues, yet to reach out to India. Third is your capital requirement for investment purposes were made by the Americans and Chinese. So India-Philippines relation is about to start, and the pace, the ground, I can feel it, that people are now looking into India. About 1 million Indian tourists, they come to Thailand, Malaysia and Singapore. They take a flight They land in Bangkok, they go to Phuket, Pattaya, similarly in KL, Penang and Singapore, they go back to
there's no direct flight between our countries.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
we don't have any direct flights.
Yeah.
So ASEAN Center had an opportunity to discuss about this. Why the tourism is not going between. Issue is the connectivity. We don't have a direct flight yet. Yes, Philippines here started a direct flight with a stopover in Bangkok, but it didn't work. So until we have a air links, then how the tourists will move. You have several beautiful islands, which in
we have many beautiful
many,
islands.
and Indian people will love to come. Even they go to Indonesia, you know. So those things to be, sorted out. You need to have more interaction with the tour operators, the guide with India and Philippines. So I think Philippines and India should have more bilateral engagements.
And do you see that coming in the next few months to come?
Yes, for natural reasons. As I said, that Philippines is services driven, India is services driven. So there are scopes for complementarity in IT BPO. In Metro Manila, many BPO companies, business process outsourcing companies, call centers. So there are advantages, doing more active collaborations. So India and Philippines. So I think both the countries should have more bilateral dialogue, engage the think tanks between them to find out which way we need to drive the bilateral engagements. Those groundworks yet to happen.
So maybe we should be part of your think tank.
Yes,
also.
yes,
We have a think
yes,
tank
yes.
also. So
You see, another advantage in Philippines and India is that private capital.
Okay.
You have private sector, private capital, you have an international brand. India is a private capital, international brand. So the natural collaborations is the way forward.
So you see better things coming in the next 3 years.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much for gracing this interview. But before we end, can we have any final word from you?
Look, ASEAN and India is going to build the relation. It will be more strengthened in coming years. And ASEAN and India, they are the natural partners. So the relation will be more, more and more natural than, if I say. And all the member countries in ASEAN, they are very much looking for India. India is looking for ASEAN as well for investment, for development of infrastructure, for enterprising. So I think there are plenty of opportunities between them. We have just started. The beginning has been started. So more we engage, more avenues will open up, and this is the way forward.
We have learned from the Executive Director of the ASEAN India Center, Dr. Prabir De, about the long and natural partnership between the two regions dating back to early civilization periods. Furthermore, as ASEAN continues to be recognized as a strong organization, not only in Southeast Asia, but in Asia in general, India continues to support the region, particularly in the field of connectivity. The more connected we are within and beyond the region, the more we will flourish in commerce, and as a result, further develop and integrate the region. When we speak about connectivity, it is beyond the physical and concrete roads and bridges. It's not just about the establishment of seaports and airports. Connectivity is also about cultural and people-to-people linkages. If more people are connected, then harmony is more achievable. In our next segment, we will learn from two Indians who are trying to weave the cultural ties between the Philippines and India. One is through food, and the other is through sports.
Hilig nyo bang magluto? Mag-recycle kaya? O di kaya naman matuto ng arts and crafts? Good news! Dahil lahat ng yan, hatid ng nag-iisang DIY show ng Net25. Hatid namin sa inyo ang mga easy-to-do recipes, recycling ideas, art projects at mga bagong hobbies na siguradong ipoprovoke ang creative juices nyo. Kaya tutok na sa programang hindi lang tayo magiging hands-on, sama-sama pa tayong magiging malikain. Kaya tara na, let's be makers from bits and pieces.
Tamashu. Let's go to Japan! Tara po at samahan niyo kaming lakbayin ang kanilang magagandang tanawin, ang kanilang makulay na kultura, ang kanilang mayamang kasaysayan, and discover the spirit of Japan, a country of beauty and tradition. Landmarks visits the land of the rising sun. Ngayong linggo po, ika-6 ng gabi, dito sa Net25.
Food for the soul. That's how Mr. Raj Trasad, owner of the Little Indian Healthy Cuisine, describes the diverse Indian plate. In his journey from India to the Philippines, he hopes to share his passion in cooking and his culture by serving it in the form of curry, samosa, pakora, and chapati.
Yeah, I'm basically a management professional. I was into export-import profession before. And later on, I moved to Ghana because I decided to not do job for anybody else. I wanted to rest. So I tried to give my 2 years of my career's life for the community. So I did volunteering in Ghana. So I gone there. I worked there, then I learned a lot dealing with the community, working with them, and I really feel happy. I was happy there. Then over there I met my wife. At that time she was my girlfriend. It's a Filipina. Her name is Mona Lisa. So she was a gender specialist there. She was working in a gender-related project. I was working in a micro-enterprise project. I was helping one of the credit union. It's a cooperative bank. So I was developing system. So once we finished our assignments there, I didn't want to go back again in the office and where a lot of things are waiting for you for politics and all those things. So me and my wife, we decided to go for a business. Since I'm a vegetarian, I was finding difficulty to survive in Ghana because everywhere it's meat. Food, vegetables are very limited and all are dried one. So I started to learn and cook because that is the only option. I can't have it outside. So slowly I got interest. And my other friends over there, they are also praising me. Okay, it's very good, you are good like that. Then I decided to learn. So whenever I used a lot of YouTube videos and I got also some recipes from my relatives, my mother, sisters. And so that's how I developed. But I like eating. So I know what is this food should taste how. So when I know, okay, when I hit that level, I understand, okay, now I'm okay with that. So I was okay with the taste that it should be. So in Ghana, we already decided we will not do job after the volunteering. So me and my wife already agreed, okay, we'll do business. So since I already developed a lot of confidence in the area of culinary, and you don't need too much money to start your own business, like a small restaurant. It could be just like a carinderia. We started just, I think, 150,000 only. We landed up in Los Baños. So first we gone to India, we assessed the things there. So in India, you need a lot of money, actually, if you want to venture into that kind of business. Unlike here in Philippines, you don't need much money. You just pay 2 months or 3 months advance rent, then you are done. And you just buy your basic equipments. So in just 150,000 worth, spending, we started our business from Los Baños because we didn't have much money. We did volunteering, so we are not getting salary. We are only getting some allowance, which is just sufficient enough for our basic needs there. We already made our mind that okay, we'll start a food business here in Philippines. So since I am okay with the Indian food only, so we assessed. Then we found out for the limited budget we had, Los Baños is the best place. So over there are Indian communities. Some in Erie International Rice Institute, there are some Indian scientists and the Western scientists are there, and the UP Los Baños is there. UP is known for the students are very adventurous to try the food. We thought no, this is the place where we can try, and that gave us courage to go ahead. Indian cuisine is made from pure herbs and spices. Originally, Indian cuisine doesn't have meat. and other things, that you get by killing the animals. Later on it happened because our country has history, like Mughals came, like means Middle East people, they invaded our country, then they introduced many things like that. That is now also part of our cuisine actually. In many Indian restaurants, if you go and see Mughlai section, it means it comes from Mughal. Just like you here in Philippines, Spanish, when you say it's a Spanish blended Filipino food, so we have also those aspects. But originally the food is pure vegetarian. Our staple meal is still vegetarian. If any Indian till today, even though the person is non-vegetarian, if you give them fully meat and little bit rice, they will not eat. Still meat is like a side dish. They want still the basic, the dal, which is lentil, but it's a source of protein for vegetarians. Then with the rice or bread, and they still want the viands cooked with spices and herbs. And meat could be option, but they cannot eat just meat and bread or rice. No. All foods are divided into 3 categories: Sattvic, Tamasic, Rajasic. Tamasic food are those food that you can eat whatever you want. It could be alcohol, it could be meat, anything. That's Tamasic. Second one, Rajasic. Rajasic is the food which is recommended for the warriors and the kings because they protect the society. So for them, they can eat the vegetables and some white meat and the eggs because they need to be slightly aggressive also to protect the society. Those people. Then the third one is Sattvic. It is also called Jain food. So when you say Jain food, it means the food doesn't have onion, garlic, no egg, no fish, no meat, no any artificial seasoning. All are herbs and spices and vegetables. And that is the identity of India. We have abundance of choices about that, and we still can make food very tasty. In our menu, we offer only Sattvic. It's guilt-free. You are not eating anybody, you are not killing anybody. Actually, the restaurant itself is a healthy option. We don't offer anything which is unhealthy. This place, we don't even serve alcohol. We don't offer anything, even egg. Everything is pure healthy. No artificial seasoning we use. Pure herbs and spices. That's why sometimes by reading the word healthy, sometimes those people also comes to us, those with some big problems. Like doctor, if somebody has got the kidney transplant or something, and doctor says you have to eat only this ABCD. They give us all those things, and I prepare accordingly, whatever the doctor gave advice. So Indian food offers those choices. Even though you have a lot of restrictions, we can do for you. I think for any kind of cultural ties, heart is very important. And I think there is a direct connection between the heart and the tummy. So that's why I think food for soul is the good word for Indian cuisine. It doesn't have any the element that can harm your body. It's delicious, yet guilt-free.
We have learned from him that cultural understanding and appreciation is not just about government-to-government treaties. It can also be strengthened through a language we can all understand and relate to: food. That is why, for Mr. Raj, every bite of his cuisine is also a taste of Indian culture.
I am Rajkumar Prasad. I am restaurant owner. I am ASEAN.
vision natin. Pagdating ng 2040, mapakiddo, tita, or tito, ang long-term vision for the country, maging free from hunger, na let go ng poverty. Lahat may chance dahil may equal opportunities. Solid na ang peace and security. Clingy sa family. Bongga ang diversity. At strong na ang community. Ambisyon natin 2040, gawin nating reality.
get a chance to experience the best of our Filipino artists.
Lets me know that you need me.
As they perform their greatest hits at Sessions on 25th Street.
The closer I get to touching you.
Sundays at 8 p.m. only here on Net 25.
Eagle News International Weekend Edition, Saturday 9 to 10 p.m.
Our next guest is a product of a literal Indian-Filipino relation. With an Indian father and a Filipino mother, Mr. Ajay Khatri enjoys and appreciates the cultural diversity in the four corners of their home. His wide understanding of cultural exchange, which he directly learned from his parents, made him become more flexible and open-minded. He carries these values in every game that he plays, inside and outside the basketball court, characteristics that made him the country's Philippine Youth Ambassador awardee in 2015.
My name is AJ Khatri. I'm 19 years old. I study at Enduring Colleges, and I'm half Indian, half Filipino. Growing up here in the Philippines is kind of, you know, I didn't see anything different between an Indian growing up in a different country from Philippines. Like, okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is there's not much difference between me and the other locals, like growing up here in the Philippines. It's pretty much the same. There's no gap and all. I guess I put it on my parents for being supportive. Being raised by two different cultures is, you learn a lot from them, specifically from my dad and from my mom, you know. Simply because when they get mad at me, my mom starts yelling in broken Spanish, my dad starts yelling in Hindi, so it's kind of, you know, a mix of, you know, culture already right there. But it turns out to be alright because they're both very protective, and I grew up not being exposed to any vices, you know, drugs or anything like that, drinking, smoking, yeah. They did a good job of keeping me away from that. Because being raised by two different parents, my mom's Filipino, my dad's Indian, right? So there'd be like two different dishes every night at the table, one Filipino food and there's like Indian food there. I like both. Yeah, I'm not really picky as long as it tastes good, or as long as I could eat it, it's okay for me. I feel more Indian when I'm with my Indian friends, simply because, you know, I don't know, we look different as a group. Like when you put a bunch of Indians with me, like, okay, they're all Indian. And then you put me with the Filipino friends, oh, there's one guy, there's a foreign guy over there. So it's, you know, it's kind of, you just feel it. You just feel it on the inside when you're with your Indian friends and when you're with your Filipino friends. Well, I feel more Filipino like most of the time because I'm with mostly Filipino people like around me, like my friends. I grew up with Filipino friends. So yeah, most of the time I feel Filipino, especially when going out, eating street food, yeah. I was already aiming to be in IT, so I didn't really think of, you know, reaching this far so far, yeah. So everything just happened in a click. I really had no idea I'd be playing UAAP, play for FEU, you know, and going to play for collegiate basketball, turning out, you know, going modeling or something. So for me, I thought of it in a later part, but then, yeah, I did. I took IT here in Enduring Colleges, thinking about there's an equal amount of opportunity to reach my goal as being a PBA player. But then, you know, you really have to think about the academic side too, you know. What if you don't make it there? You still need something to lean on. It's really hard to balance studies and your basketball. Because you really have to know how to manage your time, you know, or else you won't make it through the day. Balancing, I think I just go to class, keep my daily routine. I go to class, or weights in the morning, go to class, and then practice, and then you really have to take rest, get some rest, you know, that's really important. Repeat the same thing. You don't have time to, you know, go out every single time unless you have a break, you know. You really have to be disciplined enough to just stay at home, get some rest, you know, just be with family. Being disciplined, in short, is like, you should know what you should do. should be responsible. Like, first of all, not having any vices. That's the main definition of, you know, being disciplined. Because if you're not disciplined, that you be out, you know, drinking, smoking, bad people around you, it creates negativity. So it's, yeah, that's being disciplined. It's more of, on the mental side, you really try to sacrifice a lot of stuff to be disciplined. I think the supportiveness is what's important in parenting, because they're always there, of course, you know, they want the best for you, but then it's about how it goes down to their supportiveness. You need the support, you know, in order to really build up mentally and be disciplined. It just doesn't come because your parents tell you to. I think the most common ties between Filipinos and Indians are diversity and values. So diversity simply because they're aware, like I'd call it diversity awareness, because my Filipino friends are aware that I'm from a different culture. So there's not much, you know, they don't make me feel left out. It's a kind of, it's like brotherhood type of thing. There's really no separation between me and my Filipino friends. Yeah, and values simply because the Filipinos and Indians have the same values. It's just in a different form because of culture. Like in Philippines, we bless, you know, mano po, right? Okay, and in Indian, we touch the feet of the elderly. That's the sign of respect. But although it comes down to the same thing, it's just respect for the elders, you know. Being a sportsman, I would like set up a league specifically for Indians and Filipinos to get together and recreate. And through there, you know, you could strengthen their ties. And yeah, end up really well.
Coming from a multicultural family, he now tries to be an advocate of cultural understanding through basketball, the country's favorite sport. He believes that given the opportunity to get to know other people from other countries, we will realize that we share a lot of common culture. We, however, express it in different forms.
Hi, I'm Ajay Katri, Filipino-Indian, student athlete, and I'm ASEAN.
Hi, I am Don Orozca, and I'm Henry Lubong, and we are your news correspondents for Silicon Valley for Eagle News. And we are one with 25.
From Moscow, Russia, we are one with 25.
From Eagle News Service Singapore Bureau, this is Salsa Donor. I am one with 25.
From Eagle News Western Canada Bureau, my name is Archie Rose Natividad. I am one with 25.
From Moscow, Russia, I am one with 25.
Moments, Sabado, alas 7 hanggang alas 8 ng gabi.
There are 30 million young Filipinos today. When they are empowered, they can create a prosperous and sustainable future for humanity. How? Let's focus on just one girl. Let's call her Nina. Nina can fulfill her dreams if we give her the power to shape her own future. She can be an inspiring leader, a productive worker, an innovator, a caring parent, or a key person in her community. But without proper support and access to opportunities, her future will be at stake. That is why the United Nations Population Fund is supporting the conduct of a 15-year study that will follow a group of 5,000 10-year-old girls and boys from all over the Philippines. We want to learn the changing needs of Filipino youth like Nina for the next 1.5 decades so we can give them access to the best solutions. Because what the world will look like in 15 years depends on our power to unlock the potential of a 10-year-old today. Will you let their future slip away?
As ASEAN continues to grow its presence in Asia, India continues to strengthen its long relation with the Southeast Asian region. It continues to support ASEAN in various projects and programs that mutually benefit the two. It is reflected by the various connectivity projects of India to ASEAN. Integration, however, is not complete when relations are only at the level of governments. People-to-people partnerships are like a ribbon that will officially seal the deal. When there's mutual respect and appreciation despite cultural diversity, a genuine partnership and relation is achieved. And sometimes, these partnerships can be established and developed in languages that are close to our hearts. Example is being through food and sports. When we ensure that both the people and the government are aligned, rest assured that development and integration is just beyond our reach. This is ASEAN in Focus Weekend. I'm Dr. Kaloy Tabunda Jr. I'm ASEAN, and I'm one with 25.